myself, oh man, yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go into the military. I'm going to do what I need to do. And then when you get there and you see the realities of war, it starts to change you. There's this part of you that realizes that although this is wrong and this is ugly, in this situation, this is necessary. Some situations. For me, it was the combat situations, is when they opened up on us, then okay, it's all right. This is what this is about. But when we went into the villages and they did some of the things that they did, that never went over with me. That always left my mind reeling like, man, why did he do that? Why did he feel he had to do that to that human being? I tell this story. One time I was at this Camelot artillery base, and they came and they got me and they said, hey, get your weapon, come on, we need you. I said, okay, so I went. There was these 3 trucks set up, and so I jumped on one of the trucks and we left the compound. And as we left the compound, we went around to the back. And on the side of the hill was all these refugees that were living in cardboard shacks or whatever they could find to have a little shelter. And there was this whole side of this hill. I mean, there must have been a couple of thousand people there. And as the trucks turned into the compound, the corporal said, only let 2 people onto the truck to help unload. Nobody else comes on the truck. Watch the spare tire and the gas can. Don't let them get to those. Lock and load. Locked and loaded. We went in there. He picked out the 2 people for the truck. They came in, and as they're throwing stuff out the truck, they're sticking stuff in their stuff, anything that they, but as we came into the yard, it was like this human wave running down towards us. It was like, oh my God, look at that. It was just so unreal how these people had been affected by all of this. I mean, they're just the victims of what's going on around them. And then to be fighting for our trash, to find something to eat. This young kid, he looked like he was about 12, Vietnamese kid, climbed up on the truck and he was trying to reach through the boards to grab something. When the corporal turned around and looked at him and said, wham! Hit him right here on the side of his head. And the kid fell off the truck. And I remember he was holding his head. And when he turned around and looked up at this corporal, you could see the hate. You could just see it in him, man. And I knew why they hated us. I saw what was going on. I saw how we were treating them. How can you winning the hearts and minds? How can you win the hearts and minds of people when you're abusing them, when you're burning their villages down, when you're destroying their crops, when you're doing all of these when you're spraying Agent Orange all over them, when you're dropping napalm on them. I mean, we talk about war crimes, about chemical warfare. What is napalm except a chemical compound? What is Agent Orange except a chemical that was developed to defoliate, but it affected thousands and thousands of the people who live in Vietnam, the children, after the war was over. All these things, were still, they were paying the price even after we left, Vietnam. So, okay. I remember making myself the promise that I never wanted to hurt another human being for the rest of my life. As long as I live, I never want to hurt another human being. And then, or anything. I didn't want to kill anything. I didn't want to, I said, man, I want to work to make the world a better place. I promise, if I make it back to the world, I will work to make the world a better place. And where I have worked, that has been my goal, most of my life after that. Although, I have found myself in a couple of situations where it was testing, where I thought to myself, one was an obvious situation where I saw a mad dog, a literal mad dog with foam coming out of its mouth trying to attack my car. And I thought that gave me that realization that sometimes, even though you don't want to kill anything, it's necessary. You have to kill it. Whether it be a mad dog or a mad human being, sometimes it's all about survival again. It's, I'm grateful I've never been put in that situation where I have to kill another human being, but I know now that if that situation arose, if someone's trying to kill my wife or my kids, I wouldn't passively go, oh gee, go ahead and do it. I would do everything within my power to stop them. Benji, my dog, the same thing. If anything ever tried to attack him, I would do whatever I had to do to keep him alive. And if I happen to have a weapon at the time, I'm going to use it. That's reality. But again, those are some deep down promises in my heart and in my mind. When I came back, I remember I went to work at Stockton Children's Home, and during the interview, the lady said, "Why do you want to work here at Children's Home?" And I said, there's things that went on in Vietnam that hurt my soul, hurt me to my soul. And I said, I want to help people, I want to do something positive. She said, hey, you're hired,